The Ashari Dominion struck without warning, on the cold edge of Orion's Spur, where a fledgling human colony orbited the star Carthos. Alien warships descended like wolves on lambs. Carthos III was young, barely 30,000 settlers, engineers, farmers, families. No fortifications, no standing fleet. Only trade ships, research stations, and a human embassy built to honor peace with the surrounding polities. The Ashari shattered it all. Their cruisers cut through civilian transports as if harvesting crops. Atmosphere bombardment ignited entire forests, reducing towns to blackened glass. Thousands burned before they understood they were under attack. At the center of it all, the embassy fell. The human ambassador, Samuel Vera, was dragged before the Ashari fleet lord. Cameras broadcast the scene across the sector. A human diplomat, unarmed, calm, kneeling before scaled conquerors. The fleet lord's voice slithered through translators. Let the galaxy see what comes of humanity's arrogance. You send words, we bring fire. You send peace, we bring conquest. Earth will kneel, or Earth will burn. Then, with theatrical cruelty, they executed Ambassador Vera live on the Galactic net. His final words were not pleas. They were a whisper, steady and cold, carried across 1 billion screens. You will regret this. The Ashari laughed as they cut him down, and thus the fuse was lit. The mockery of Ashari, the Ashari Dominion celebrated. To them, humanity was a curiosity, young, ambitious, but fragile. Other species had taken centuries to claim a voice in galactic affairs. Humanity had done it in decades, too quickly, too bold. So the Ashari sought to make an example of them. In great halls orbiting the twin suns of Vael, Ashari nobles drank crystalline liquors and toasted to their victory. They mocked Earth's merchants of words, declaring that no army of flesh-born primitives could rival Dominion fleets. On comm channels, their propaganda echoed, "Humans will not fight. They build farms, not fortresses. They cling to ideals of restraint. They are civilized, too civilized to rise." Allies who might have mourned the colony dared not speak. If humanity was so easily crushed, why risk standing with them? The galaxy watched in silence, and the Ashari rejoiced, blind to the shadow stirring beyond Sol III. The stillness. Before the storm for 30 days, there was no reply. Ashari analysts grew smug. They declared humanity had accepted defeat. The execution of their ambassador was proof enough of Ashari supremacy. But far across the void, Earth did not sleep. In the black vaults beneath Luna's surface, the Terran defense fleet awoke. Colossal doors, silent for generations, shuddered open. Dreadnoughts stirred from dry dock like ancient beasts rising from the deep. Mars shipyards pulsed with furious activity. Factories turned from commerce to war, producing at a pace that defied logic. Sleeper fleets hidden in Ortstone. Caverns received activation codes unseen for a century. The silence was not surrender, it was preparation. When the first human transmission finally broke across the galactic net, it was not from generals or presidents. It was from a single recording. Ambassador Vera's voice, preserved, amplified, and repeated. You will regret this. Every channel carried it. Every relay repeated it. The galaxy froze. The words were not shouted. They were not threatened. They were prophesied of when Earth rose. The Ashari learned the prophecy's truth at Kael'Tris, a border world garrisoned by 3 Dominion fleets. The human armada arrived in silence. No threats, no parley, only steel and fire. Dreadnoughts eclipsed Kael'Tris's sun, their shadows falling like an omen across the planet below. Fleets unlike any the Ashari had imagined emerged from voidfold gates, sleek, angular, black as night. When the Dominion hailed them, demanding identification, the reply came, Terran fleet. Retaliation protocol. Then the stars burned. Human weapons tore through Ashari hulls like paper. Not plasma, not missiles. Their arsenal was something far deadlier. Rail lances hurled slugs at near-relativistic speeds, carving cruisers into halves before their shields registered impact. Swarms of autonomous strike craft, silent and faceless, devoured destroyers in coordinated silence. Kael'Tris's orbital defenses fired back, only for their own targeting systems to be subverted, turning their guns against themselves. The battle lasted 12 minutes. At its end, nothing Ashari remained in orbit. The planet's garrisons, cut off and leaderless, surrendered within hours. The galaxy trembled. Fire spreads across the stars. The retaliation did not stop. From system to system, Terran fleets appeared without warning. Entire Ashari shipyards vanished in surgical strikes, reduced to molten slag. Communication nexuses fell silent as precision bombardments cut Dominion lines apart. Where the Ashari had laughed at human weakness, now they cowered. Entire star clusters turned against them, emboldened by humanity's wrath. Species once silent found courage under the shadow of Terran banners. In space, the scale of destruction grew biblical. Human fleets moved with cold coordination, as if each ship was a limb of a single mind. Planets fell not in months but in hours. Ashari forces could not predict, could not match, could not comprehend the sheer efficiency of Earth's war machine. It was not vengeance in rage, it was vengeance in calculation, and that was worse. The day of reckoning, at last, the Terran fleets reached Vael, the twin suns of the Dominion's throne world. The Ashari had gathered everything they had, their grand fleet, their nobility, their command, 1,000 warships, more firepower than any battle in their history. They waited, desperate, certain that sheer numbers would finally halt the human tide. But when the Terran armada arrived, it blotted out the stars. Their ships did not roar. They did not boast. They advanced in silence, endless formations stretching across the void. From afar, they looked like a storm front rolling across the heavens, inevitable, unstoppable. A lone Terran voice echoed across every frequency. Ambassador Samuel Vera, executed under flag of truce, Colony Carthos III, eradicated Terran retaliation, now complete. Then the sky fell. Human dreadnoughts opened fire. Beams of accelerated mass pierced through entire battle lines. Carriers unleashed torrents of drone swarms so vast they darkened suns. Ashari ships shattered by the thousands, their desperate counterfire vanishing against impenetrable Terran shielding. On the ground, cities quaked as orbital strikes scarred continents. The Ashari throne itself was leveled, its crystalline towers collapsing into fire. For every human life taken at Carthos, 1,000 Ashari fell. There was no parley, no negotiation, no mercy, only the execution of vengeance. The ashes of Dominion. When it was over, Vael burned. The Ashari fleet was gone. Their empire lay in ruins. Survivors crawled from rubble, their voices hushed, their arrogance gone. In orbit, the Terran armada did not linger. They did not gloat. One by one, their ships folded back into the dark, leaving only silence. The galaxy watched in horror. Worlds that had once mocked humanity now whispered in fear. Trade networks collapsed as empires re-evaluated their every treaty. Species debated in hushed chambers, realizing the truth. Humanity had been patient. Humanity had been restrained. But when provoked, when blood was unjustly spilled, their vengeance was not limited. It was not political. It was not measured. It was absolute. Aid. The whispered lesson years later, survivors of the Ashari Wars still told the tale. Not of their victories. There were none. Not of their glory. It had been reduced to ashes. They told of a single moment, a single voice, a lone human ambassador, unarmed, executed before the galaxy, and the words he spoke before death. You will regret this. The galaxy did not forget. In Senate halls and council chambers, the lesson was whispered like sacred scripture. Never provoke Earth. Never test their patience. Their wrath is infinite. And across the stars, silence followed wherever Terran banners flew, for the galaxy had seen it once, and once was enough.